Right. So you drove from Harlow in Essex to Middlesbrough to protest against black people and Asian people. Basically all non-white people is what you're saying.
Yeah, because they're the main issue.
Before we jump in, tell me where you're tuning in from. And remember to like and subscribe. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps these stories coming. All right, let's get into this one, because what you're about to hear is genuinely unsettling. In this clip, a visibly angry caller phones into Tom Swarbrick's show and casually explains how he drove all the way from Harlow to Middlesbrough for one reason alone: to protest against black and Asian people. Not a policy, not a law, not a specific incident. Entire communities reduced to a target. And what makes this call so important isn't just the hatred on display. It's how calmly and confidently it's delivered, as if this kind of thinking is completely normal. There's no shouting from the host, no theatrics, just simple, precise questions that slowly force the caller to confront what he's actually saying and why it doesn't add up. This is a textbook example of how grievance politics works in real life. Big claims, zero evidence, and a worldview built almost entirely on things read on the internet. As the conversation unfolds, you can hear the logic unravel in real time. The pauses, the backtracking, the contradictions piling up one by one. So watch this carefully, not just for what the caller says, but for how easily these ideas are absorbed, repeated, and defended, even when they collapse under the slightest scrutiny. We'll watch the exchange together, and once it's done, I'll break down exactly why moments like this matter far more than most people realize.
Gary's a first-time caller in Harlow. Gary, you were involved?
Yes, mate, I'm involved.
Talk to me about where and when and how.
Middlesbrough. I went up there, I travelled up there from Harlow in Essex, where I'm originally from. So I travelled up there to see, to actually demonstrate my problems of why all this is going on. That's the problem.
Right, you drove?
Yeah, I drove up there, yeah.
You drove from Harlow to Middlesbrough and back to take part in the protest?
Yes.
Right, and what is it that you wanted to protest against?
Basically all the boats coming in, all the immigrants coming in, causing problem, causing grief. That's what I'm protesting about. That's what I'm fed up of, really.
Which people are you thinking of when you go on these protests?
Asians.
Asians?
Yeah.
Right, so all Asians are who you're thinking of when you think of the people causing all the problems, all the immigrants?
Asians and black people.
Right, so you drove from Harlow in Essex to Middlesbrough to protest against black people and Asian people. Basically all non-white people is what you're saying?
Yeah, because they're the main issue.
All non-white people are the main issue?
Well, from what I'm seeing.
What are you seeing? Because from where 99.9% of the rest of the country is seeing, all black people and all Asian people are not the issue, Gary.
Well, from what I'm seeing, from the problems that's going on from South, look at Southport, look at the Manchester airport incident, you know, who's starting all the grief?
And the colour of their skin is what you think is the main driver of that?
Well, they don't know any order. They don't have any order.
And who's they? Sorry, the they is, again, all black people and all Asian people. And the black people and the Asian people who you come into contact with in Harlow, do you accuse them of being as apparently violent as the people that you've seen being violent who also have that skin colour?
No.
So it's not all black and Asian people then, is it?
No.
Right. So when you went up to from Harlow to Middlesbrough to protest all black and all Asian people, you don't actually mean that, do you? You mean something else.
Well, that's what I mean. Those are the main culprits.
Of what?
That's what I mean.
The main culprits of what?
Causing a lot of grief.
And there are no white people who have caused a lot of grief? Like, for instance, the people going to protest in some parts of the country like Middlesbrough?
Well, they're just protesting their anger.
But again, sir, they're also causing a trouble, aren't they? Those white people protesting their anger. They're also burning shops, looting, kicking people's heads in, throwing bricks at the police, aren't they? So are they also causing trouble?
Yes.
Right. So it's not just that non-white people cause all the trouble. We agree that white people cause trouble too, don't we?
Yes, we do, yeah.
What did you drive up from Essex to Middlesbrough to do again?
To demonstrate my anger towards what's going on with a lot of the immigration rules. A lot of immigrants are coming in on the boats, and predominantly they're coming in from Middle Eastern Asian countries.
But why do you need to make this an issue of skin colour, Gary, when you've just come on the radio to agree that, of course, not all black people cause problems, or all Asian people, and indeed some white people cause problems too? Why do you need to make it about skin colour?
I'm not making it about skin colour,
Well,
but they're projecting the wrong image.
You rang up and said the reason you went on this protest is to protest against black people and Asians. All blacks and all Asians is what you said.
Well, 95% of them are problematic people.
How did you get to 95%, sir?
It's been proven statistics.
Where? Who? Show me. Tell me. You got in the car and you drove all those hours up to Middlesbrough to go and protest something that you can't evidence, for which there is no evidence to say they're 95% of the problem.
Well, this is what I've read.
Where?
On the internet, I've read it. On the internet, I've read it.
And do
problem after problem.
Do you take what you've read on the internet that 95% of black and Asian people are the problem? You take that as a fact?
Well, that's what I think. Yeah.
And why do you think that? Because you believe it.
Because look at Southport. Look who was the culprit in Southport. Who was the culprit in Manchester?
Well, actually, arguably, a culprit in Manchester was a white police officer.
No, but who started it? That's the problem.
And you know who started it?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Right, but that's also not proof, is it? Because there might have been a video before the video that you've seen, the conversation of which we're not party to because we weren't there. Gary, let me ask you this. Do you think you were born racist?
I'm not racist.
Because I think you are, sir, but I don't think you were born racist. I think you've grown into your racism, and your racism has led you to drive, in this case, from Harlow to Middlesbrough, to go and protest at something that is unevidenced and not true, which you agree is unevidenced and not true.
I'm trying to protect England.
From who?
From the invasion of illegal migrants. Maybe some people don't see that, but I see what's going on.
Well, with respect, I think what you see and other people not seeing I think people see what you see but don't come to your conclusions, Gary. There is a problem with small boats arriving. I think that is a problem, and that has to be dealt with, and successive governments have told you to stop the boats. But nobody, Gary, has said that the problem is all black and all Asian people.
Well, that's my view on it.
Do you ever think that you might be wrong?
No, I'm not wrong.
Right.
All my mates think like me.
Yep. There can be lots of racists.
All my mates think like me, and all my mates are prepared to do anything to stop it.
Are some of your mates Asian or black?
No.
Right. And when you come into contact with various services, the NHS or your dentist or your doctor or whoever, or the person serving you at the till in the shop, and they're not white, do you think they are lawless as others are?
I don't know what they're doing.
But they're not, are they? I mean, there they are holding down a job. In some cases, there they are attempting to save your life in parts of the NHS. God forbid something awful were to happen to you. You might have a black doctor, a black woman, black man trying to save your life. Would you worry about that?
No.
So it's not all black people then, is it?
No.
So why did you make it about race when you went up to Middlesbrough to go and protest?
Because, as I told you, what's going on, what happened, I made it about that because of Southport and the Manchester incident.
You use the colour of their skin to say all black people are therefore a problem.
Yeah, because those are the main problems that's out there right now.
But you also agree that it's not all black people, don't you?
Yeah, but as I said...
So how can those two things... I'm going to give this 30 more seconds, Gary, because maybe we're getting somewhere. How can you have two things that are opposite be true at the same time? It is all black people, and it isn't all black people. How can you hold both of those things to be true? Well, either it's one or the other. Which do you think it is?
Well, maybe 5% is all right.
Maybe 5%.
If that.
Right.
But the other 95% are wrong, mate.
And you get to the 95% figure because you read it on the internet?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Do you think you should be arrested?
No, for what reason?
Well, what did you get involved in Middlesbrough? You went round charting, you went encouraging people, you were there to facilitate, to help people get their point across by chucking stuff at the police and what have you?
No, I had a plasterboard up, that was it.
What did your plasterboard say?
Get illegal migrants out.
Right.
Get our country back.
From all the black people?
Well, what else is there?
What else is there?
It's the Asians. It's the people from Africa's. Africa's.
Okay, Gary, I've tried.
What really matters here isn't just that Tom dismantled the caller's argument. That part was almost inevitable. The unsettling part is why the caller clung to those beliefs so aggressively, even after they were shown to be incoherent and unsupported. That's the bit we need to sit with, because it tells us far more about the moment we're living in than the call itself. This was never really a serious discussion about immigration policy or public order. Race and migration were just the language this anger chose to wear. For people like this caller, those ideas become a uniform, something simple, visible, and emotionally charged that can absorb a much deeper sense of frustration, a feeling of being left behind, of power slipping away, of a life that hasn't turned out the way it was promised. You can hear it clearly in the moment Tom corners him with that calm, devastating question. What if a black doctor was saving your life? There's no reflection, no pause to reconsider, just panic followed by doubling down. Because the second he lets go of that belief, he's forced to confront something far more uncomfortable, that the real sources of his misery might be economic decline, lack of opportunity, broken political promises, or even his own circumstances. And that's much harder to face than blaming strangers. It's far easier to point at boats, migrants, or entire communities, especially when social media is constantly feeding you stories designed to confirm your anger. That's the key thing here. He wasn't searching for truth. He was searching for validation, for content that told him his resentment was justified and, crucially, gave him a clear target to aim it at. This is how the cycle sustains itself. Confusion turns into grievance. Grievance gets shaped into identity, and identity becomes immune to evidence. What we heard wasn't really a political argument at all. It was a cry for meaning, disguised as certainty. And that pattern doesn't stop with anonymous callers. You see it echoed all the way up the political ladder, in figures who build entire careers by offering people someone else to blame. So yes, Tom won the logical exchange, decisively. But logic was never going to be enough on its own. The beliefs on display here weren't rational positions waiting to be corrected. They were emotional shields, protecting someone from a much harder reckoning. And that's what makes this problem far more serious than one bad phone-in call. What stood out to you most in this exchange? The argument itself, or the refusal to let go of it even after it collapsed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this breakdown useful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.